To another episode of the Read Pile. Today I'm talking about North 40, which is, I'll just say this right from the beginning, an excellent series. You can see already that there is a tentacle on the cover. There's this misshapen woman that looks like a zombie. This guy's wearing it's kind of hard to read, but Cthulhu Lives shirt, and this in the background is not mountainous. You can maybe see it on it all there, kind of a tentacle. So this is horror. It's kind of supernatural horror, but it's what it is. And you may have also noticed art from Fiona Staples of Saga. So this and this she did about 2 years before starting Saga, and I discovered both of these probably 5 or 6 years ago, and love them both. So North 40. I recently reread, and I've talked about this before, how I tend to read in bed before going to sleep, and I realized very quickly that that was not going to work for this. This story is so packed. So we've got these first 3 pages that set everything off and introduce a bunch of the main characters for the series. So in these first 2 pages, we've got a bunch of, it's really inciting incident, but we've got these 2 characters as well, and it's so dense. I mean, this is probably one of the most densely packed pages as far as words go, but that's not the case for the rest of the book. By dense, what I'm talking about is every word is basically plot advancement or character development, or sometimes a joke. But this was not a series that I could just read 8 pages, go to sleep, and then read another 8 pages the next day, because I would forget whatever was important. So I read this in chunks. I read half of this yesterday just because I was so into the story. I wanted to see how it ended again. But here's this guy. I mean, the art is phenomenal. I'm trying to tell you that the writing is similarly fantastic. Aaron Williams, I don't know him very well. I did look him up. It seems like he did about 50 issues of this PS 238, I believe, based on the art. It's a kid's book. I have not read it, and he hasn't written much else. There's some miniseries, nothing else that I've read, but I'm trying to tell you, he's phenomenal writer. I wish he'd done more. And I might have to check out that PS 238 to see what that's about, because it's just incredibly well written. And obviously Fiona Staples is also just a master illustrator. I'm trying to say this book is fantastic. Highly recommend it. It is 6 issues. It ends in such a way where it could have continued, but since it's been more than 10 years, I'm guessing that it's not. I'm kind of surprised, as maybe you are as well. It's put up by Wildstorm, but that's the case. So, supernatural horror, it's sort of a locked county. So, these 2 that are showed off in the beginning read from a book that's from the restricted section of the library. That's the book. Yeesh. And they wind up setting off these supernatural horrors in the town, and the town is cut off from the outside world, and so it's sort of a somewhat survival story at that point, somewhat mystery, trying to figure out what happened, perhaps why, what to do about it, and I've said this multiple times already, but it's really good. Everybody winds up transformed in a different way. This guy sort of turned into dirt. He's got some plants growing out of him. The one kid you might have seen can fly. This guy got extra huge. It's really cool that his shorts are sewn together because he's so large now. There's this thing. I love it. So anyway, if you can find this, highly recommended. Again, Fiona Staples on art, and I was unfamiliar with the writer, but he is really, really good. Good enough that I want to seek out some other work of his, and I'm going to try that PS238 to see what that's about. But I wish he had written more based on this work and Fiona Staples. If you don't already know her from Saga, check out really anything she's done. She's simply incredible.